I'm Jackie Ware.
And I'm Justin Jones.
And
you're on air with Jackie Ware.
Hello and welcome. I'm your host, Jackie Ware, and I'm thrilled to have you join us. At Pegasus Residential, we're always exploring how innovation can empower our teams, elevate our communities, and create stronger connections with the residents we serve. Today, we're diving into one of the most transformative topics in the industry, artificial intelligence, and how it's shaping the future of multifamily housing. Joining us is an expert who's been at the forefront of AI and integration in multifamily, Justin Jones.
Hello, everyone.
So whether you're just curious about chatbots, data intelligence, or how to measure the ROI of AI, you're in the right place. Let's get started. Justin, a little bit about your background here. Can you tell us about your background and what led you to specialize in AI, particularly within the multifamily industry, which makes it super unique?
Super unique, yeah. Gosh, AI, solutions, problem solving, utilizing technology, I think is really kind of my, origin story. Like 10 years ago, 2013-ish, oh my God, more than 10 years ago, gosh, almost 12 years ago, 2013, 2014, we saw multifamily have to come on to mobile marketing. There's an app for that, right? Mm-hmm. Suddenly the mobile phone was their portal into showing off their properties and getting us to engage with it as renters. Mind blown, right?
Yeah.
What 10 years before that, the internet of things, from print to the webs.
Yeah.
So I was a part of that first 2013, 2014 experience when I brought mobile marketing to multifamily through a company called RadPad.
Okay.
And it was my job.
Love that name,
It was a
RadPad.
great brand. I will truly say we made renting cool. And we started off in Los Angeles.
Was that just you? Because I thought I made renting cool.
You epitomize cool and chic and gorgeousness. I was able to go in and say, be like Jackie. Or I was able to meet the Jackies of the world and say, hey, you're renters. They need to see 3 photos. They want more personalized experiences. They want to really interact in an emotional way with your content. And that's what mobile marketing allowed us to do. And I remember sitting in offices, people saying, no, we are a firm handshake, wet signature industry. We'll never do that. Here we are. Remember in 2020 when people were like virtual touring? No. People will only rent.
I don't remember that because when we said we're going to have to go to virtual touring and we have to get everything we can to make that happen.
That's because you lead Pegasus Residential, girl.
That's right.
Not everyone's like you. People were scared.
They were. Yeah, exactly.
You were scared. You were at the forefront, and you get what I'm talking about. So here we are. Artificial intelligence. It feels like 2020. It feels like mobile marketing, but in a way, it's bigger than anything we've ever done. Because this is truly changing people's lives, my personal life and my professional life in real time. And we're watching these changes happen so quickly, it's hard to keep up with.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what got me into this, to say, hey, Justin, go keep up with this. Read everything, listen to everything, and figure out how I can translate it to multifamily, which, other than Pegasus Residential, can be a bit reticent towards change, but not Pegasus Residential. They pay me every time I say Pegasus Residential.
So what are some of the pivotal moments or challenges you faced in your career that helped shape your expertise in AI in the multifamily industry?
It's all about the renter journey. That's what I was
One word I
really
hear all the
excited
time.
about. This journey, right?
Mm-hmm.
I love all our buzzwords in multifamily too. Centralization, personalization, renter journey. But when you get down to it, technology as a way for us to create more emotional, more connected experiences with our consumers, more one-to-one feels. How do you do that at scale? Technology. How do you make something truly personalized? Technology. And artificial intelligence is built on what I would say is knowledge graphing of our consumer and our property management companies and our communities. And the merging of these knowledge graphs is what's going to help us overcome the problems I've seen in multifamily marketing, which is it's not really talking to me, or it's not really giving me all I need to know so I can help make a more educated decision as a lead. So we all know that multifamily claims they have a lead problem. No, we've never really had a lead problem. We have a customer experience issue.
I would agree.
How do we give full service, that Pegasus level of quality experiential service of one-to-one at scale? And it's almost an impossibility because the amazing people who work on site and the amazing people who are leasing have to not only lease, give full service, but also have to problem solve, have to do their financials, their reporting, and all these things. And that's the major pushback I've seen across my entire career, which is, yes, technology is great. Yes, I see that it works. But how does it work for me? says on-site person,
Mm-hmm.
inundated with solutions,
Yeah.
inundated with cookie visits from their vendor partners, inundated with, hey, we have this technology now, go use it, and having no training. But with artificial intelligence, I really truly believe that if we surround ourselves with the right solutions and we were able to communicate the values to our on-site friends, as well as I'm communicating it to my friends who are the Jackie Wares of the world, if we connect ourselves in this why of what it'll do to give us our time back, of
Mm-hmm.
help us create more personalized experiences, we might find that we suddenly become that human industry we know we are because of technology.
Wonderful. So you obviously you have passion, and I absolutely love it because I think anybody successful needs to have passion for whatever they do. So have there been any specific mentors that have really been a significant influence in your life, or a big project that really made you change your thinking on everything?
Yes, I owe everything to mentors. Uh, Daniel Polino is someone I look to. Laurel Zacher is someone I look to because both of them are showing me what technology can do in real time. I was trained one-on-one by Natalie Carriola, who's now at SmartRent, and
Yeah.
she's bringing IoT, Internet of Things, connectivity, intelligence to multifamily at scale through hardware and software, and that amazing idea of connectivity of a lifestyle. But Natalie taught me how to talk to people about technology and how to really get to the core issues and concerns we have. And then, of course, working with one of your amazing people, Liv Gabrielson, when we were at
Mhm.
Realtor.com together, these insights of how to communicate to not just the Jackies and the Livs, but to my friends on site, that true value. These are the people who've helped me learn how to communicate this ostensibly difficult and impractical idea of artificial intelligence, both on the institutional and in the individual level, to the people I'm trying to help the most, which is our industry, which our industry does need a bit of a push,
We are behind in technology in
except for
comparison,
Pegasus Residential.
except for
We're going to stop
Pegasus.
that bit now. That was fun.
So at Pegasus
There we
Residential,
go.
um, we've seen that the multifamily is deeply rooted in relationships. I mean,
Yes.
that's what we're all about, and that's what our industry has been about. The home is so personal, and
Yes.
we help people find home, right? Does AI make it more complicated, and is it, really skewing the connections between the leasing teams and the prospects?
It's a great question. And I have so many interesting answers for this one. Munish Gandhi founded Highly, the company I work at. I'm an
Yes.
AI evangelist. And one of the first things he told me after he said, "You go be an expert," is let humans be humans and let AI be AI. Our mission at Highly is truly to help us be more distinctly human. And I actually have a great anecdote. I was speaking at Pittsburgh, the PAA. They have an apart together, and I got a maintenance track talk, and I got to sit down with these fellas. Like it was all fellas. Monica Frazier was in the room holding down the fort for me, and then fellas, guys who are in our communities doing great service. And
Hmm.
there was a wide well study actually that showed that the number one reason for resident complaints is maintenance.
Yes.
The number two reason for a positive feedback is maintenance. So they hold our one and two slots
Yeah.
for how we create amazing experiences on site. And we all know they see our residents more than the community managers,
They're in
right?
their homes.
Literally
Yes.
in their homes. So now I'm talking to these fellas, and the first thing they actually said to me was this question: Is AI going to take my job? So here's a soundbite: AI is not going to take your job. The person who knows how to use AI. Oh, here's the camera. The person who knows how to use AI is going to take your job. And so I'm sitting down with these fellas and I'm saying, okay, what can AI not do? And they said, well, AI can't unclog a toilet. I said, exactly. And I said, tell me more about the toilet story. They're like, someone put a towel down the toilet. So the rest of the conversation was, yep, AI is never going to take the towel out of the toilet. But it is going to give you some time back. It's going to help you do your documentation. It's going to help you translate if you're speaking a different language. It can help you create a better customer experiences. So now, my friends here, sitting here, who are all maintenance dudes, bros, now that you have this time back, what are you going to do? What makes you more human? And I put up a bunch of choices for them to select from. And I said, look to the dude next to you and tell them what's going to make you more human. What's your superpower? And then each of them presented back to me what the other person's superpower was. And they all chose empathy and problem solving.
Wow. And that's true of any maintenance that I've ever worked with. It's so
Right.
true. The best people.
Empathy and problem solving.
Problem
So
solving all day.
if those folks are talking to us about empathy, that goes to show you that that's the human they want to bring to work. That's what we're going to be able to get to and commit to with the implementation of these strategic services like AI to make us all more empathic, to make us all more human, because we're not sending emails, we're not doing paperwork, the things
Making
that,
us less robotic.
girl, how many times have you sat in an email, but like, I should send an email? Oh my gosh, it's 3 weeks later. I haven't sent an email. I would rather
Half
jump
the
off a
time, I
bridge.
think I've already sent them. They're sitting in my draft.
There you go. Yes. There you go. Yes. Let's not send email. Let's not be an email sending company. You know, all those leads that y'all, were asking for when I worked in the ILS awards,
Yes.
asking me for. Well, frankly, we weren't really engaging with them. We're still not, hashtag renter journey. We're still not engaging with them. And it's so funny. It's not that we're bad at engaging with them. We just don't have time to, because we're so focused on everything else. So AI, sending those emails, sending those texts, being a voice service when you call in, answering, what's your pet policy? Even though it's on the website and on the listing.
Yeah.
What's the rent? Even though it's there, but just alleviating that stress empowers our on-site teams and our leasing teams to focus on what truly is human, that amazing tour, that amazing touch point.
I love it. Could you share some examples of where AI has noticeably improved response times and lead management for property management companies, like Pegasus?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. So when it comes to AI, chatbots we kind of understand that's a thing, but also you're seeing that voice is coming to the forefront, where someone will call in and they will talk to an agent. That's a computer, not a leasing agent. So I'm going to use the term agent as in like beep beep boop boop, not a human being.
Okay.
And there's a great study, by the way. I think that Appfolio is out there doing some really significant studies, and I've loved all their content. So this is a shout out to my friends at Appfolio, who are truly doing great work. And they have a study, a recent study that came out in December with the NAA. And this impact report showed that they're seeing a 10% increase in response times.
You're saying 10% with AI?
Yes, to call volume. They're up to 10% offset of call volume using artificial intelligence.
Nice.
And that's just one impact. They're seeing an increase in 5% in resident satisfaction utilizing artificial intelligence. They were seeing a 15% retention rate. Now, and I can throw out all these numbers, but the question is, but how? And that's the trick that not only our industry is going to have to face, but other industries have faced, especially with generative AI. How do you prove the impact? So my call to action here is measure what can be measured. Look at velocity, look at retention rates, look at call volume, look at emails answered. Those are great ways to measure if the AI is on and working. But the qualitative is also really important. And I think in the age of AI, it's going to take our friends who work on site and our friends who are marketing directors and marketing managers and operational people to tap you on the shoulder or in a meeting say, okay, we have the numbers here, but how has it changed the way you work? And then they're going to say, well, it feels like blank. And you just say, that great. That actually matches what we're seeing with your productivity on site. So when we merge the story with the numbers, you'll get the true impact of what AI is doing for us.
Okay. So then for some people who aren't as knowledgeable about AI as you are, how do you explain the different levels of AI, such as basic chatbots versus the autonomous AI? So what is really, kind of explain to our listeners, what's really that difference?
Yes. And for those of you who are listening, there's a dog sitting in this room that I really want to pet like Dr. Evil style, to be like, we have this thing called artificial intelligence, but I won't do that because I'm a serious person. Okay, but let's break this down. All right, y'all. So here we go. AI, artificial intelligence. AI wasn't a study of how to take Justin's job when he was in marketing. AI, it truly was a study of how the human brain works. That's what they wanted to figure out. And then the study became, how can we get computers to do things that we thought only humans could do? And that's the study of AI. So we have machine learning, which I think all of y'all understand machine learning and automation. Now, before we pass go, before we collect $200, Multifamily has an automation problem. When I give these talks, I'm like, raise your hand if you've automated your journeys. Raise your hand if you are committing to touch points with every lead every time. No hands raised. So before we pass go into, let's say, generative and agentic, focus. We need to look at vendors. We look at the solutions that are truly automating to the best of their abilities the processes like leasing that can alleviate time and stress and give that 100% every lead every time promise. So yes, machine learning and automation can do that. The second level is your generative AI. So that's your chat GPTs and your Claudes and your Grok 3, which just came out this week.
I haven't even heard of that.
Oh my gosh.
I don't even know if I'm ready for that.
Those are large language models, right? And those are creators. So you prompt them and then they create an image or they create your text. They create your email. They create a video. And then the third wave, which, oh girl, I'm not going to get to it now. It's agentic. This is going to be the year of agentic technology. And the long short of agentic is machine learning had to be prompted. If that, then rule-based. Generative AI has to be prompted. You tell it you want and it gives it out. The age of agentic is here when an agentic agent will simultaneously do tasks based upon an objective and solve the tasks based upon what they think will solve it best for you, utilizing whatever application, whatever technique it's been trained on in order to serve you as a true partner, a true assistant in the completion of said task.
I'm ready for that because there are just some resident requests that I don't know how to solve, but I'd love if a computer could get them solved for me. I love it.
It can.
So, what factors should property managers like us consider when evaluating these solutions? Like, there's a lot of different products out there. A lot of things are saying it's a buzzword, like you said. How should we properly evaluate this?
Yeah. And AI washing is a thing. Like centralized washing is a thing. Like, oh, yes, we're doing your centralization. We're doing your AI. Are you though? Okay. I want to split these up into the individual experience with AI and the institutional. So in the individual experience, I encourage everyone listening, within the ramifications and the confines of data safety and data security, to go out and try a large language model. Just try it out. Have it, ask it a couple questions, see what it's like. And I always suggest OpenAI, which is ChatGPT, or Claude by Anthropic. Those are two of my favorites. Now X has one called Grok. There's even a model that does research called Perplexity. So if you're ever preparing for an interview, go into Perplexity. It does research.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. That's my call to action. And it's going to feel emotional. It's easy for it to be magical the first time out. But go try everything to see what truly commits to solving your problems the best way that feels personal.
Okay.
For the institutional, it's a bit harder, right? So this is the cookie visits from vendors, right?
Yeah.
Look at how they're approaching the technology from what I would consider something really important. And this is the first time I've really talked about it on a podcast. It's called Data Fabric. And this is something we're doing strategically at Highly. The long short of that is whatever their solution is, using AI, it has to be integrated with the rest of their products and services.
Okay.
Because we're a point solution industry, which is great. We have so many great solutions out there, but our point solutions have created data silos. And the only way our AI is going to get any smarter, and the only way we're going to future-proof ourselves for as AI gets smarter, is through those great integrations, which we call Data Fabric, to create deeper understanding, which creates better renter experiences.
Nice.
That's the one way I would say, are you integrated? And then look, is it automation? Is it generative? Is it agentic? And then make sure at the end of that cookie visit that you understand as the client exactly what's in it for you and how it serves your customer. And your customer is not the renter. Your customer is those on-site people who are serving the renter.
Absolutely. Love that. That was well said.
Thank you.
What role does scalability play in choosing an AI solution, especially for companies managing both lease ups and stabilized assets?
Yes, ma'am. It goes back to fabric, right? The concept of data fabric. So the interconnectedness, taking your data, consolidating it, cleansing it, and crystallizing it, and making sure it's compliant so that you can utilize that data to build your products and services at scale, economies at scale. That's why so many of us, we choose like one vendor, one concept, because they have all the solutions. But then we'll realize after we've chosen that vendor, that one big solution partner, oh God, the data doesn't match up. Oh gosh, the reporting's inaccurate. Oh gosh, it doesn't do this thing where I needed to truly customize to my solution because it's not pulling in all the data we need.
Correct.
Hey, our PMSs out there have been solving the good fight, are building out our solutions, are built on a bit older technology, but they're out there doing great work for us. Our CRMs out there are doing what they know how to do, but none of them, I would say, are truly the epicenter of fabric or have fabric in their technology to allow us to truly integrate everything. Like for instance,
we don't have. I would love for one platform for it to do everything that property management needs. We all need the same things, pretty much. And you're right. There isn't a product out there. There's pieces, and there's definitely providers that are servicing us in great ways. But yeah, that one all-encompassing product, I can't wait for it.
The one all-encompassing fabric. So our products can come into fabric. And then we have our data center, which makes reporting like that. Like your end of month financials, dunsies, accurate. Because our ownership groups, they are swallowing the blood in the water for, they're like, hey, data, wait, I need to know this. I need to know this because of
Yes.
NOI. Hey, Pegasus, tell me this. And Pegasus is going to come say, not only can I tell you this, it's going to be accurate, it's at scale, and it's consistent, and it's clean, and now I can report, and you just go do what you want with that. Go get more properties. We know how to do this thing because we've consolidated our data.
Sold.
Sold. Pegasus Residential, here to consolidate your data using Data Fabric. Trademark pending.
How important is vendor support and training when implementing AI solutions? And what should property managers look for in a reliable partner?
I love
Help
our
us.
Yes, I will. But don't you love our vendor partners, Jackie?
We do. We have.
Honestly,
I can't say enough about how many we have and how great they are. Our relationships are strong. When we have problems, they find us solutions. They're quick to respond.
yes, ma'am.
They are.
I love them. I love our vendor partners highly, and I can, I love the Elises and the nurture bots and the funnels, and I love, oh my gosh, get 100s.
Yes.
Like I feel like our hearts are in a place where we're like, we want to solve the heck out of this. So my advice for everyone is make sure your vendor partners are providing training and insights, and with them, what's in it for me for our on-site people. Because there's a joke I used to tell, on-site is where great technology goes to die. And if you don't pitch it correctly, that on-site person, Linda, I call her Linda. Linda, she's been smoking for years, but she loves what she does, but she's seen everything. Linda doesn't have time for that.
Yeah.
She doesn't have time to learn other things. Oh, another dashboard. It's like florals for spring. Groundbreaking.
Okay. Yeah, agreed. We did a test. We at one point I think we were running like 38 different dashboards.
Yes, you are.
We had to consolidate, and that's been our goal the last couple of years, is to really consolidate those. But it's so true. And then layering those onto each other, of course, there's going to be some disconnects in some of that information.
But train our teams. Let them know what's in it for them. Get them excited about it, and kiss it. Keep it simple, stupid. Make sure the vendors are out there kissing it for you. And then if there's that two-way communication of how the data is being used and democratized, so that Linda, who has a feeling about how to make things better, she has access to the same data that Jackie has. She can then go present her solution to the team and say, hey, here's the data, here are my feelings, let's make change. And you're going to see change agents coming from the ground up, not just the top down.
Beautiful. That's exactly what we're wanting to see.
And that's what your vendor partners can help you with.
I love that. So that's how to select one.
Yes.
Thank you for that. So let's divulge into the data quality and multifamily operations. How does AI help properties like ours make sense of complex data?
Well, they're the data gurus. So there's this amazing book called Machine Learning. It's like Humans Plus Machine by Paul Daughtry. I think I just severed that book title, so I'll make sure I get that correct. It's Human Plus Machines by Paul Daughtry. And he talks about this thing called the missing middle. So on the right, he has this graph. So I'm going to paint the graph for you in your mind's eye. On the left side of the graph is us humans, the things that we do best: empathy, leadership, creativity. And on the far right, you have what computers do best, which can be summed up as numbers, 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 beep, beep, boop, boop, math. And in the middle is humans training machines to be better at doing the numbers, and machines training humans to do better with technology, and that missing middle. So AI is not a tool we use, but a partner in our everyday. And what we're going to get with the incredible onset of all this technology is what I talked about earlier, a data fabric. So we let the machines do all the data and analysis, right? And it's doing that already. But then it presents it to us in a way that we can truly learn and utilize and take back and then create on top of that by giving us the insights we need in real time that are accurate and clean and concise and compliant. We as multifamily leaders can then lead in strategy and bring that heart and that empathy, the things we want to do, with this fabric and this foundation of data that we can really stick behind. But like as I said, until you get all your data in one place and until you have a fabric as a foundation, you will truly never have the full breadth of insights that you need to scale your business in a way that will be productive for your ownership groups and your residents.
All right. So how are property managers leveraging AI-powered BI tools to make more informed decisions on pricing, marketing strategies, and operational efficiencies.
Yes, well, pricing. I won't touch the pricing thing because we've certainly seen in the news that technology and pricing can create a conflict of interest. But aside from pricing, BI tools are allowing us to truly see what's happening on site. And here's a great. Oh, I got a good one for you. Something we've seen with Fabric. So this is for my digital marketers out there. Digital marketers, you are utilizing AI right now in your dashboards, all 60 billion of them, to look at clicks and let's say likes, right? And then and conversions on a tour, and that's all we're able to maximize around and optimize around. We don't at this moment have the ability to maximize and optimize around a converted lease because your CRM is not talking to Google. They don't talk to each other. Your PMS is not talking to Google. So there's no way for us to say, Justin converted. This was Justin's pathway, and this is the first thing not only he clicked on, but he visited the website, he was on the ILS, and then he actually clicked on an ad to show my full journey. It only just shows a couple touch points, not the full multi-touch experience. And it's right now we can only say, yeah, a renter like Justin clicked, but I have no idea he converted. But with AI and Fabric, or really true connectivity between Google and your PMS, it can take me, Justin, and create an audience of Justin lookalikes based upon my conversion on a lease, not just my click, and not just a conversion on a tour.
Okay.
And that's huge. It's something we're really not talking about enough. Truly making sure our digital marketing is based around the accomplishment of the lease, not a click, and not just a tour conversion.
So you're saying that's going to help us identify trends and opportunities?
Yeah, that's going to change how your ads look. It's going to say, wow, this image really worked for us. This copy really worked for us. Let's make sure that's the header on the website. Let's make sure that image is first on our ILSs. Make sure when we run a digital ad, oh, that one right there. Let's utilize that creative. It's going to help us be more precise in our creativity and not just, throwing spaghetti in a wall and hoping it sticks. That's just one insight with BI. The other could be in predictive maintenance. Predictive maintenance. Oh boy. I mean, again, my maintenance people, they're the ones we're gonna be working for them someday.
Well, they're the jewels of our industry.
They are the jewels, and they're also the ones where you're going to see AI bolstering their
and help them be more efficient. Yeah.
Yes, we're sitting here, you and I, as knowledge workers. They have actual functionality with machines. When I say they're going to be our boss someday, I don't think I'm hyperbolizing. They're truly that amazing merge of human ingenuity and technique, utilizing AI to create and fix and predict in their work and give better experiences and make sure the longevity of our machines work longer. When it comes to that toaster never breaking, not that a toaster is just something they're fixing, but I digress. The sink, that's where we're going to see the BI tool saying, hey, this is going to break soon. Go in and fix it before the resident ever experiences a break. Oh, hey, this BI tool says you can better accomplish this task by utilizing XYZ. Here, let me take care of this part so you can focus on the part that matters.
That's beautiful.
And BI and AI you can't have AI without data. And our business intelligence is a thing that's going to support our AI, or else it's just like, a general knowledge. We're going to make our AI more specific, more narrow for our vertical that is multifamily, not just horizontal AI, which could be for anybody like ChatGPT.
Yeah, I love that. Like with the predictive analysis of things for maintenance, just like, hey, this is just based on the year of it. Let's get ahead. Let's fix it before it breaks. I mean, I think that's beautiful. Or they could do all the communication so the service team can really work on servicing the client instead of scheduling the appointment, coming in and doing all those things.
Ooh, can I tell you about agentic AI?
Yeah.
Okay, so agentic AI, right? This thing that's now agentic AI is coming out right now. As we speak, people are building agentic AI. So agentic AI and service requests. This is my favorite story. A service request comes in, and right now it's an if, that, then. So I do this thing, and then this thing. It's very linear, right? Yes. And it takes time, and boy, there's so many variations and nuances. Agentic AI, when it gets a service request, will simultaneously, at the same time, utilizing a mesh fabric, be able to triage the problem with the resident. Did you turn it on and off? Schedule the resident and schedule the maintenance tech to meet at a time that meets best for them, while looking at the history of the device that's broken, while ordering the parts of the device that might be broken, while filling out the paperwork for the device so the maintenance tech doesn't have to, while giving the maintenance tech everything they need to know to fix this thing in maybe multiple different languages and with multiple different techniques of problem solving, all at the same time to commit to that single objective. So we didn't prompt it. We didn't say, go in and fix this, help me fix this. It does it proactively.
Wow.
And that's the P word for multifamily. Proactive. If we could become a proactive industry, Pegasus Residential, the proactive partners.
I love it.
Patent pending.
So, how do you measure the ROI of AI?
Yes. Okay. So I mentioned earlier, industries across the board struggle, right? There's the qualitative and the quantitative. At Hiley, we actually developed something really cool that I love talking about called AMPS. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people will promise you, we're going to give you your time back. It's like at the end of a meeting, you
Yeah.
have 5 minutes. Here's your time back. Go make a quiche. What am I going to do with 5 minutes? It's a joke.
Yeah.
I don't think in this sense, what we're doing at Hiley, we're giving you your time back because it's a joke. Linda taking her hours a week from 60 to 50, it's still too many hours.
Yeah.
She's still overwhelmed. So what AI is doing, like automation, is actually adding digital workforce. We're adding digital headcount. So when you realize your teams are understaffed, under-resourced, instead of hiring someone else, which clearly none of us can do right now.
We're all fighting with the same people.
Right. We add machines. So at Hiley AMPS, it's autonomous agents added per month per property. So we aggregate every little thing our machines do through automation and generative AI. We mush them all together. We add up that time till it equals 40 hours. And then 40 hours times 4 per month, right? And we're able to measure, on average, per your communities, how many autonomous agents, how much digital workforce we added, full-time employees we added to your workforce.
That's amazing.
And that's an important measurement because that's an OI right there.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Love that. All right. Are there any specific KPIs or benchmarks that property managers should track continuously?
Yes. The same ones you've been tracking.
Okay.
Everything we've tracked in velocity, retention rates, conversion rates. But let's see how they tighten, right? When it comes to how quickly a lead comes in to them converting on a lease, which we've noticed a decrease in 47 days coming out of that AppFolio study. Okay. Let's see call volume. Like, right? How much direct call volume, how much less time are our teams actually spending on the phone as opposed to the time that's taken up for the computer answering those phones? For what, what's the obvious thing that's sitting right there we've told you about? That's something to measure. Let's look at cost per click and conversion analysis on ads. Are we actually lowering our cost per click in our digital marketing metrics because we're serving up better ads? And we're not wasting spend on residents clicking ads that they're already residents, but they want to get into the portal, so they click an ad.
Yeah.
That's audience suppression. That can happen when your CRM and your PMS talk to Google. We measure all these things that we're used to measuring, but if we're able to connect the dot to an efficiency brought, a velocity brought by artificial intelligence, it's a win with AMPS. And again, don't forget those anecdotes. I feel. Because those on top of each other, I feel happier in my job. I feel more fulfilled. Oh my gosh, I was able to go to a residence a unit today and just knock on the door and see how they're doing. I know they had a loss in the family and I took them some flowers.
Yeah.
I would never have had that 10, 15 minutes before. But you know what? I wasn't sending out goofy emails all day that I didn't ever want to send in the first place.
Got it. I love that. So what for data privacy is a big concern for us and everybody out there in multifamily. So how is the AI adoption? How does that translate with data privacy? Should
Yes,
we be
ma'am.
concerned, or what should we prepare for?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. There's two thoughts here: the individual versus the institutional. Now, here's a term I use, and it's kind of spooky. It's fun. Shadow AI. What is shadow AI? It's your employees seeing that AI is in front of them. It's on their phones, on their computers, and utilizing it without jurisdiction, without governance, which is kind of okay in some ways, right? We know that, listen, if the data is already on the internet when it comes to like our pricing, you can use a large language model for that. It's already on the internet. But PII, do not put that on a large language model. That's breaking data privacy. Now, PII and the let's say the data that we do not want out on large language models, that's where institutional solutions come through, and those are your vendor partners, making sure they're compliant, making sure they're utilizing fair housing. Now, these machines that we're building as vendors have compliance built in via the models we're utilizing, so we can teach it fair housing not just nationally but for Minnesota. Oh my gosh, Minnesota, the MHA, they have something called MHA GPT. They've created their own private GPT.
They would.
Oh my gosh, have you met those nerds? They're amazing. They don't mess around. MHA is so on the forefront of AI because they want to be. But they've created a way for us to be compliant by bringing in all the jurisdictions and have a model for us to engage with to make sure that we are staying compliant.
We need that.
We do. And by the way, you can build it using Fabric. So the individual, let's look at Shadow AI and say, and my kind of joke is, listen, be the cool mom when it comes to AI with your teams. And the cool mom says, if you're going to drink, I'd rather you do it inside the house. So teach them, right? What's safe, how to safely use it.
What a great analogy.
I know, right? And the analogy gets more horrible. Don't let them drink Natty Light. Make sure they're drinking a sensible glass of Camus or Nickel and Nickel, and teach them how to sniff and go, wine sentences. Like, make them connoisseurs of the technology based upon what Pegasus is saying. We do not do this. We do not do this. We do not do this. Do not do this. But then go out and experiment and then come back and tell us what you experienced.
So you're telling me I need a new AI SOP?
You need an AI expert. Someone, okay, so this is a new thing. You need someone's. My advice to everyone listening is to create what I call, let's just call a technology council, or maybe specifically an AI council, built of people from leasing, maintenance, operations, people of different backgrounds and life experiences who look and sound different, someone who's never touched a computer before, and then the Justin Joneses who won't get off of a computer, and help them create your governance through this council. Help them do the check-ins, help them balance the needs of the company, the problems versus, did you know AI can do this?
Yeah.
Don't be a hammer in search of a nail, right?
Okay.
That's both the institutional and the individual, but with your institutional, utilize that so then they can triage via AI the biggest problems you have. Because if everything's a problem and AI solves everything, you'll never focus, and your budgets will go out the wazoo. But if you're strategic in building out those things, that's where you're going to see, okay, we can get the most squeeze out of the lemon by utilizing this AI first, and then we'll go here, while your individual is saying, I know how to use this responsibly. And just going back to data privacy, they're both putting privacy as their number one priority on both sides of the institutional and the individual.
Okay. So what are the primary challenges, you've seen property management companies face when they've integrated AI solutions, and how can we overcome that?
It's hammer in search of a nail. It's a point solution with a really snazzy packaging without any value to how it drives value on site. And even if it does.
So we need to get with Linda, make sure Linda is going to understand it.
It's all about Miss Linda. It's all about Linda. And listen, I've talked to the Lindas. Great place to engage, by the way, vendors, a great place to engage with the Lindas is Multifamily Insiders. A great place to engage with the Jackie Wares and Liv Gabrielson is a place like Revise. Right? Find your communities and test out. But so circling back, experimentation is going to happen with AI, and even across enterprises, we're seeing that not all AI experiments get off the ground. Sometimes it just doesn't work through pilot, and that's okay. If you have the right people utilizing that pilot with the right value propositions up front and the right expectations, we'll be able to see, did we meet those expectations or did we fail? And if we met those expectations and we knew what the values were those values representative from Linda's all the way up to Jackie and everyone in between and across, like I said, your maintenance techs, your operators, your leasers, and your marketers. And when you prioritize the solutions correctly and everyone's communicating with the same value props, you will see happier vendors and you'll see happier people utilizing the tools. Or on-site is where great tech goes to die. Because look how innovative we are. We built you a dashboard, and you're like, oh, good, thank you.
Another dashboard.
Click, shoves computer down, walks away screaming.
Absolutely. So AI bias is a critical issue in technology right now. And how do we ensure fair and equitable treatment of all prospective residents in AI interactions within the leasing process? Because you know how important that is in the multifamily industry.
Yeah, Joya asked this of us on a panel at OpTech, Joya from RKW. And I got to talk about bias because bias truly concerns me. Holistically, bias by the people who are creating these large language models, more like on the individual. Yeah, did you see that Meta came out with these like personas based upon these truly unique personas and avatars? When one person went and talked about how they were built or who they were built by, the personas weren't being built by people who lived those unique experiences, right? So the persona of Justin, a queer person of color in this world, my persona might not have been created by a queer person of color. And that's the issue with how our machines are being built. So if anyone's listening who's building these machines out there, include people of diversity, make sure it's equitable across people of all experiences, and all of you out there listening can double check. And if you see something, raise your hand, because these machines are going to be built by the winners, and they're being trained. They're being trained on synthetic data now because we read all the internet. So they're being trained on synthetic data, and synthetic data is the data created by the machine. Listen, it's going to be hard to go solve the problem in the needle in the haystack when you have these layers of synthetic data, synthetic data, synthetic data. Now with multifamily, it goes back to my prop tech council or your innovation council, your your nerd ball change council, whatever you want to call them, your czars of technology.
Yeah. Let's go with czars.
Czars of technology. First of all, Jackie and everyone listening, I challenge everyone listening to name an expert this week. Name yourself an expert, or name someone else an expert. Because a year ago, it's so kind of you to call me an expert. A year ago, I was the director of marketing at realtor.com. And now I get to sit here because I dedicated myself to learning. And the amazing people, Rob Blake and Munish at Hiley said, Justin, you get to go be an expert today. And I'll never forget that incredible gift they gave me. And I think we can give that gift out to people. And the experts you name, they'll be the ones who are looking at bias. Now, obviously, when it comes to our compliance, that can be trained into the models. Yeah, and the models will learn it. But if our on-site teams, or the people using the tools, are not experts on compliance, it
becomes their thought.
Yeah, it's their fault. So I would say the onus is yes on the machines, and yes for us to use solutions that include our specific compliance for this industry, but also goes back to how did you train your teams from bottom up on FHA and on compliance? Because we know machines, they hallucinate, right? That's just kind of a term for them making stuff up. They're going to do that. They be hallucinating, yo. So it takes what I call humans in the loop to make sure the machine doesn't
Raise your hand. If you see something, say something.
If you see something, say something. Yeah, same idea. Yes.
I love it. Okay.
Long-winded answer to a very specific thing. If you see something, say something. If it smells funny, it's probably funny.
Fair enough. Don't drink that milk. So looking ahead, what do you see as the next frontier for AI and multifamily? And are there specific capabilities or features that the property managers are increasingly interested in?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about predictive maintenance. We talked about.
I am interested in that.
I love. We're right there. It's right there. We talked about the leasing journey being more personalized, the use of generative AI, answering the emails, picking up the phone. We can talk about, really, I think here, this concept of agentic. This idea of having, now, the agentic, again, it doesn't really exist out there at full force, but let me give you an idea of the agentic on the individual. So we talked about the institutional, the agentic answering the service. But on the human level, the Jackie level, there's a very near future where you will have a personal agent doing your bidding. This agentic concept is already happening on something called Operator on OpenAI. And the agentic concept, I think, is telling us a couple of things. That someday, Jackie, you will never go to an ILS again. You will never go to a website again. And congratulations, you'll never go to a dashboard again. This is the death of SaaS.
Get me there.
Yes, the death of dashboards. Your agent will. Your agent on your behalf will go to every dashboard and then pull the report for you and generate the report and then tell you what's in it and then tell you how to utilize it. And then that's your institutional agent. Your personal agent will be booking your flights. Your personal agent will say, hey, I'm looking for a 1-bedroom in Studio City for $2,000. That's pet friendly. For Maverick, yes, Maverick, there is a dog sitting here named Maverick. For people, why I just made a funny sound.
He's actually not crazy.
He's not crazy. Cute little poopy dukes. Okay, I'm back. All right, so Maverick, right? That agent's going to know Maverick. That agent's going to know how much Maverick weighs. That agent's going to know that Maverick loves a dog park and Maverick loves to go to Starbucks for a puppuccino. That agent will then schedule your apartment visits for you. So Jackie will never go book a tour again. Your agent will do it for you. That's the future.
Well, that sounds like a wonderful future and a wonderful note for us to end on. I can't thank you enough, Justin, for being here and sharing your knowledge and and we thank you for bringing AI, your expertise now of it, into the multifamily industry. We appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you, Pegasus Residential, for being on the forefront and allowing us to look to you to make the big headway for us. And everyone listening, keep your eyes on Jackie Ware and Pegasus Residential for the next big thing.
Thank you, Justin. Bye, everybody. Hope you love this episode.